Good morning. Thank you for taking the time. We appreciate you for taking the time to be here for your job interview for the teacher position here at NAUSD. I am Pauline Joy Helasio Tardaquila, and I will be conducting your job interview today. So, to start, could you please tell me a little bit about yourself and tell me what inspired you to pursue a career in teaching?
Morning, Ma'am Pauline, and thank you for the opportunity to interview for this position. My name is Sherry Ann Morante, and I recently completed my Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Science from Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology. Since I was young, I've always been passionate about helping others learn. I often volunteer to tutor my cousin, which sparked my interest in teaching. Over time, I realized how much I enjoy not just sharing knowledge but also inspiring others to understand complex concepts. I also had the privilege of teaching children at my church, which further fueled my desire to pursue teaching as a profession. The ability to make a positive impact on young minds and contribute to their educational journey is what truly motivates me. I believe teaching is not just about imparting knowledge but also about inspiring students to reach their full potential.
Oh, that's interesting. So, beyond your qualifications, what personal strengths do you believe make you a good teacher?
In addition to my academic qualifications, I believe my patience, adaptability, and passions for helping others are key strengths that make me a good teacher. I am able to patiently guide students through complex concepts, adjusting my methods to meet their individual needs. I also pride myself on creating an inclusive classroom where every student feels comfortable and encouraged to participate. My passions for science and enthusiasm for teaching energizes my students and motivates them to explore the subject matter with curiosity.
Could you describe your teaching philosophy? And what are your core beliefs about how students learn best?
I believe in a student-centered approach to teaching, where the focus is on engaging students in the learning process. I am a strong advocate for active learning, which allows students to build knowledge through hands-on experiences and problem-solving activities. I also believe in fostering critical thinking skills and encouraging students to ask questions and seek deeper understanding. My teaching philosophy is rooted in the idea that every student learns differently, and it's my responsibility to create a learning environment that accommodates those differences by using diverse teaching methods, including group works, visual aids, and interactive technology.
So, can you tell me about a time that you had to adopt your teaching approach to meet the diverse learning needs of your students in your classroom?
During my internship, I worked with a diverse group of students with different learning style. One student, for instance, struggled with auditory learning, so I adapted my lessons by incorporating more visual aids, diagrams, and hands-on activities. This not only helped the student but also made the lessons more engaging for the entire class. I also implemented peer learning, where the student could explain concepts to one another, which benefits to those who learn better through discussions and practice. By adjusting my teaching style to meet various needs, I was able to support all students in their learning journey.
So, can you describe a challenging situation that you have encountered with a student? Or how did you address it? And what was the outcome?
One of the more challenging situations I encountered was with a student who was consistently disengaged and disrupted in my class. Instead of immediately applying disciplinary actions, I took the time to understand what might be causing the behavior. I learned that the student was facing difficulties at home, which affected their focus in school. I spoke with the students privately, providing emotional supports and offering strategies to cope with the stress. I also kept up communications open with the students' parents and the guidance counselor. Over time, the students became more engaged and show improvement in both behavior and academic performance.
So, how do you create a positive and engaging learning environment for your students?
I believe creating a positive and engaging learning environment starts with building strong relationship with my students. I prioritize creating an atmosphere of trust and respect where students feel comfortable sharing their ideas. I also encourage active participations by incorporating varied teaching strategies such as hands-on experiment, group discussion, and interactive lessons, which keep a student engaged. Additionally, I make sure to acknowledge and celebrate their successes, both big and small, to motivate them to continue striving for improvement.
Can you give me an example of a time that you have collaborated effectively with your colleagues, with the parents and administrators?
During my internship, I worked closely with my mentor teachers and fellow interns to develop a collaborative science unit plan. We shared ideas, resources, and feedback, ensuring that the lesson plan were aligned with the curriculum standard and suited to the needs of our students. I also maintain regular communications with parents during conferences, updating them on students' progress and discussing how they could support their child's learning at home. This collaboration helped create a consistent and supportive learning experience for the students.
So, how do you stay current with the new teaching methodologies, the technologies, and the educational trends?
I believe in continuous professional development to stay current with new methodologies and educational trends. I attend workshops, webinars, and educational conferences to learn from experienced educators and to explore the latest teaching technologies. I also read educational blogs and articles to stay informed on best practices. Additionally, I collaborate with my fellow teachers and exchange ideas on how to integrate new tools and strategies into our classroom. I feel it is essential to evolve as an educator to ensure that I am providing my students with the best possible learning experience.
So, what are your strategies for assessing your student learning and providing meaningful feedback?
I use a mix of formative and summative assessment to evaluate student learning. Informative assessments, such as quizzes, class discussion, and peer reviews, allow me to gauge students' understanding throughout the learning process and make adjustments as needed. And summative assessments, such as projects, exam, help me measure overall comprehensions of the material. I believe in providing timely, constructive feedback that focuses on both strengths and areas for growth, allowing students to understand where they can excel and where they can improve. I also encourage self-reflection, helping students become more aware of their progress and learning strategies.
And finally, what questions do you have for me about teaching position for the school environment?
Thank you once again for the opportunity to speak with you, Ma'am Pao. I have a few questions regarding the position. How does the school support the professional growth of new teachers? What resources or technologies are available to teachers to enhance classrooms instructions? And can you tell me more about the school culture and the role of teachers in community involvement?
Thank you for your thoughtful answers. We appreciate you taking the time to interview with us today. We will be in touch regarding the next steps and we'll be providing a feedback on your interview performance shortly. Do you have any other questions?
Again, thank you, Ma'am Pao, for your time and for considering my applications. I'm truly honored to have shared my passion and qualifications with you today. I look forward to the possibility of contributing to your school and helping shape learners into responsible and curious individuals. Have a great day.
Thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.